transplantation of the paddy crop. So the paddy farmers transplant the crop from the nursery to the main field, 30 days to 60 days. So the application time frame for the Zafu product is in that time frame, 30 days to 60 days from the date of transplantation. As I said, the special aspect is that this is a granule formulation. There is no other granule formulation of hexaconazole in the market. And that means from the farmer point of view, it can be broadcast rather than sprayed. As you know, broadcasting is far easier, requires much less labor. Therefore, the special significance of this product is it is cost saving from the farmer point of view. So that is really the most important aspect. Additionally, of course, with the labor shortage that is now there in the country, it also allows the farmer an opportunity to fight the sheep blight disease that his paddy crop may be facing using the product, using Zafu. So that is the speciality of Zafu. Capstone also is a very unique or a very differentiated product. Capstone also goes for paddy crop, but it goes for a different disease called blast. You're aware that blast is a disease that comes somewhere between 45 days to about 75 days. So that's the kind of time frame. A little later than the application time for Zafu, capstone application period comes about. So you can say 45 days to 75 days after the days of transplantation. It is for neck blast. Neck blast is a very severe disease that farmers face in the country. We are offering this product, which is a unique product. The uniqueness of Capstone comes from the active ingredients that are going into this product. There are two active ingredients that go into it. One is called phenoxynyl. The other one is called isoproteolane. Phenoxynyl is being introduced in India for the first time. It is not available from any other organization. So phenoxynyl is a what they call as a melanin biosynthesis inhibitor. So that's basically a particular type of action which is unique to phenoxynyl, and it combines with isoproteolane, which is a lipid biosynthesis inhibitor, another type of action. So two modes of action are combined in this Capstone product, and that is the unique aspect of it, because it is not available in any other product being introduced for the first time in India. It can also be used for leaf blast. So neck blast is the main disease that it is useful for, but leaf blast is another disease for which also it can be used. So Capstone is useful for, you can say, blast. Zafu is useful for sheep blight. Both of them going into the paddy crop. Both these products are a result of intense research work, what our managing director alluded to. Over the last several years, we have been building up our new product development stack, if you can call it like that, which comprises of starting from the market, understanding what the farmers really are looking for through what we call focus group discussions. The insights that we get from the market feed into our R&D work. And our R&D team has developed these unique formulations over the last many years. There is significant amount of investment that has gone into these products. We are really hopeful that they will make a significant impact in improving the yield that our paddy farmers will face, which, as you know, is the most important crop that we have in the country today. Paddy and wheat, of course, are the two main crops that are there, cereal crops that are there in the country. From a market point of view, the sheep blight market is more than 500 to 600 crores for agricultural inputs like crop protection chemicals. 500 to 600 crores. The blast market is about 250 to 300 crores per year across the country. Our goal is to get a 10% market share in about 2 or 3 years time frame for the Zafu product, and about a 5% market share in 2 or 3 years for the Capstone product. So that's really some context in terms of the product, what the market segments are, what the size of the segment is, and what our aspirations are. With that, I will once again thank all of you for taking your time to join us, and we will certainly be able to answer more questions if you have any. So thank you, and over to you, Jiran.
Thanks, sir. That was very informative, and we believe that it will boost up the confidence of farming community when they come to know that they have these new novelty products to protect their crops from these troublesome diseases. So I now open the session for the media person for the Q&A session and interaction with the Rallis leadership team.
Tell us that how fast is the growth and how the market is growing. And you said that about 10 and 5% market share you are planning in another 3 years. So can you tell us a little bit about the total market size, about the farm products as a whole in India? And just one more thing, you said that you were setting up a new plant in Gujarat. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, your investment plan, and how many plants you have, and do you have any plan to expand your plants in somewhere in eastern region, since you are launching your products in eastern India? So these are the things, and export market. Mr. Lal also mentioned that he was exporting, in some countries. So could you please shed some light on all these things?
Maybe I will take the first question and the third question, and I'll request Sanjeev to answer the second one. The overall market is growing for both the products, both for capstone as well as for Zafu. The sheep blight segment, which is roughly about 500 to 600 crores, has been growing at 9 to 10% CAGR over the last few years, let's say 4 or 5 years. Coincidentally, the blast segment, which is about 250 crores in paddy, I'm talking about paddy blast and paddy sheet blight, that has also been growing at 9 to 10% over the last 4 or 5 years. So both are important segments. This is only for paddy. The overall market, as per the industry association's estimates, overall market for agricultural inputs is roughly 23,000 crores. That is, of course, going into different crops, various crops, paddy, cotton, sugarcane, soybean, everything put together. For all the Indian agri input or crop protection industry, you can say, consumption of Indian crop protection products, 23,000 crores. And that market itself is growing between 5 to 6%. 5 to 6%. So as you can see, these products are growing, these segments for these products are growing faster than the overall. And this is really what is reflective of the challenges that the farmers are facing. So that's on that. And in terms of the international business, I want to highlight that hexaconazole, which is actually the active ingredient, which is gone into Zafu, Rallis is the global leader in terms of market share. This is for paddy, and we are selling in other countries also. We are selling in Vietnam, we are selling in Turkey, we are selling even in China, we are selling in India, of course. So wherever paddy is grown, we have a very good market. Overall, our international business is between 34-35% of our crop care revenues. So it's about more than a third, you can say. It is a very significant component. We do have a lot of plans to grow the international business, and all the points what the MD mentioned in terms of the investments that are going in terms of our manufacturing plants will certainly help in driving the growth in our international business as well.
Thanks, Naga. And you had inquired about manufacturing plants. For crop protection chemicals, we've got 5 factories. 2 of them are located in Maharashtra and 3 of them in the state of Gujarat. And one of our facilities we commissioned in December of FY22, December 21. And this is a facility for manufacture of formulated products. So, for example, hexaconazole granule, Zafu, this product, can be produced out of that factory. And so also capstone can be produced out of that factory. So it's a fairly modern plant that we have built. It is been built to take care of our requirements for the next 5 years. So it's got a very significant capacity. And as part of
Where is
our,
located?
this is located in the Dahej chemical zone. In the Dahej chemical zone, this new factory has been commissioned. Within the Dahej SEZ, we have another factory of ours which is producing two of the herbicides that we produce in fairly large quantities. These herbicides are both for the domestic market as well as for the exports market. During the course of the last financial year, we had introduced a herbicide which is called Pepe. It includes a chemical that we manufacture, which is pendimethalin, and fairly large quantities of that we're also exporting of pendimethalin. We also have a factory in Ankleshwar, which is one of our older factories, where we are producing fungicides as well as some insecticides. In Maharashtra, we have a factory in Lote. This is a plant which is dedicated for manufacturing an insecticide called Acifate, which is a fairly widely used insecticide. And we have another formulation plant in Akola, where we are also doing formulation of some micronutrients and crop nutrition products. So overall, so far, we have, in the last couple of years, 3 years, I would say, we have invested close to about 500 and close to about 600 crores for expanding our capacities. And as alluding to one new plant that we are building in the Dahej SEZ, this is for manufacture of some of the new molecules that are being developed as part of our product portfolio expansion. So these synthesis is being done in our R&D lab, and we will be commercializing it after taking it through plant facilities in the Dahej SEZ factory itself. Apart from that, we are also building a new R&D center in Bangalore. In Bangalore, currently we've got two R&D centers. One is for biotechnology, and the other is for chemistry and formulation work. Both of them are located in Bangalore. But we will be building a larger center so that both the facilities for both biotech as well as chemistry can be in the same location. So we are just waiting for some regulatory approvals for starting the construction, and it will take us about 15 months, 15 to 18 months to complete that facility. I hope that answers your question.
So your, I mean, total investment runs into around 600 crores altogether, including the.
So far, we've already committed 600 crores, and we had taken approval from our board for about 800, 900 crores. So there are certain additional projects which are currently being considered. So in the next 2 years, we'll be making further investments.
Sir,
Market scenario in, I mean, eastern region. Are you also growing in the eastern region, I mean, vis-a-vis other parts of India?
No, as of now, our manufacturing facilities are getting concentrated in Gujarat largely, because we already have land in Gujarat. For example, in the SEZ, we've got 36 acres of land which is currently being developed for the new multi-purpose plant which I was talking about. And we have another 130 acres in the Dahej chemical zone, out of which we have developed close to about 15 acres. We also have a 4 megawatt solar power plant located in the Dahej chemical zone. So we are developing that as our expanded capacities.
good afternoon, sir. First of all, congratulations to entire team for bringing two new products, new business, new hope. My question would be, you are introducing new APIs. So hopefully it has gone through the environment tests. the impact on the aqua life and others or the soils. Not only it is removing the fungi, but whether it has a effect on the avian lives or the pisciculture effects on the fishes or even the humans in contact. So any adverse effect reporting or anything, the safety test has been gone through?
Sure. So actually, any product that is being introduced in the country goes through a regulatory process through the Central Insecticides Board, CIB, right? That is the regulator, and there's a registration committee which goes through the data which is submitted by the company, and the data includes things like toxicity for the points that you are raising, and bioefficacy as to how effective it is. All this data has to be submitted, and a lot of this data is being developed with the help of the state agricultural universities. So it is going through a very rigorous process before the regulator approves it. Some of these products have been in the development and the regulatory process for almost more than 4 or 5 years. So it takes a long time before a product can be brought to market. I would also like to add that there are various levels of toxicity that are indicated by a triangle which talks about the toxicity of the product. And Rallis, as a policy, had come out of the most toxic products um, almost 8 years back. So what is called red triangle products, we have come out of quite some time back. And as indicated by my colleague, there's a toxicity factor which talks about how toxic it is to both the human as well as animal life.
Absolutely, the symbols people must know what is the value of hazmat or hazchem products and what is the level of it, it should be indicated. That's obviously company like yours will follow it.
No, that's the law. That is the law. I just
Yes,
want to clarify.
but the problem is when you are doing the tasting, say for example, ppm and ppb, analysis of the trace element in the thing, that varies from the different standard you are measuring. In context to the world standards, the Indian ISO and BIS standards, which are even the APIDA or any other agri product standards, they are following for the exports. In Indian market, the products which are coming, say for example, you are doing the seed testing, seed analysis, the crop which are curated by your product, the yielding of the seed quality, size, everything. Is there any impact? I'm not talking in a negative point. I want to impress the world with the.
So there is something referred to as MRL, right? That is the residue level, right? And typically there is a application window which is recommended for most of the agrochemicals, right? They have to be applied in a certain window, and only after a certain time is the crop expected to be harvested after the application of the chemical, right? So these are all part of the studies that are done before the product is introduced or the regulator allows you to introduce the product in the market. And certainly, for example, even in our portfolio, we have a number of products. Grapes are not cultivated so much in this part of the country, but in the western part of the country, there's a lot of cultivation of grapes. And you'll be aware that a lot of export of grapes happens. Likewise, a lot of export of basmati, the fragrant rice. There's a lot of export of that also which happens. And we have, as part of the work that we do with the farmers, we work with them to educate them on application, the right application. And also some of these chemicals we are also introducing, for example, biological products also. Because sometimes the farmer is compelled to use certain chemicals or use products to prevent certain disease. Right, so some biological products also help to prevent this issue which you're talking about, that products getting exported with higher levels of chemical, which sometimes leads to rejection. And so, some time back, there was a news article that some product was rejected by one of the countries to which it had been exported. So these are very important, and a lot of the extension work that is being done by companies, and Rallis takes a lead in that, is on educating the farmer
We can say India is entering into the next generation of agricultural breakthrough, the second generation of green revolution through your products and companies like yours, which are playing in the market.
Well, certainly, I think on a broader scale, the opportunity for agriculture in India is very high. One, of course, is that we are blessed with a very large land which is arable, which is can be cultivated. We have very diverse agroclimatic conditions, so multiple types of crops can be cultivated. And all said and done, while you asked this question about agrochemicals and its impact, I must also say that the use of agrochemicals in our country is which are in agriculture. So the opportunity for getting better yield, better productivity is fairly high if the farmer is able to use the right chemical at the right stage of the crop and also at the right level at which it is to be used. You will get much better productivity and much better quality as well.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?